Yes, so we are going to start with the Inchcape Rock. It is a 12th standard poem, Maharashtra board. So, first of all, here in the Inchcape Rock, there are two. This is written by Robert Saudi. You can see his picture. I'm not reading the above information, I'm directly starting the poem. And let's read and understand this poem line by line simply. First, no steer in the air, no steer in the sea. What it means? Steer means what? Steer means a movement of a wind, which means there is no wind, there is no movement in the sky, there is no movement in the sea. Clear? Everything is silent, everything is still. The ship was as still as she could be. So here the poet is talking about the ship is, if there is no air, there is no movement, so the ship will also not move. Her sails. So here the poet is talking about the ship is a female, so that's why her. Her sails from heaven receive no motion, which means that the ship is not moving, not in movement, no motion. Her keel was steady in the ocean, which means keel is the one of the part, one of the below part of the ship which is not movement, which means that first stanza talks about a ship and there is no wind, there is no movement, nothing, there is no air, no wind, nothing, and because of that the ship is not moving in the sea. Clear? Without either sign or sound of their shock, the waves flowed over the Inchcape Rock. So there is without either sighing and sound of the shock, the waves are flowing over the Inchcape Rock. Inchcape Rock, you can see in the illustration, Inchcape Rock is nothing but whenever the upper portion of the mountains are visible in the sea, that is called as Inchcape Rock. So without any signal, without any indication, the waves are flowed above. So little they rose and so little they fell. So, how the waves are flowing, the poet is talking about that. The waves are flowing, or the waves are rising and falling down. They did not move the Inchcape bell. What did not move the Inchcape bell? The waves. The waves did not move the Inchcape bell, which means the second stanza talks about without any indication the waves are flowing above the Inchcape Rock, above the Inchcape Rock without any indication, and it is flowing up, it is flowing down, right? and and they can't, they are not able to move the bell. Clear? Now, the abbot of Aberothak. Abbot is nothing but the left side meaning is given. See, abbot means the head of the abbey monks. Abbey is a we can say that person who is who works in a church, right? A monk. So abbot of Aberothak is a place had placed that bell on the Inchcape Rock. On a buoy in the storm, it floated and swung, and over the waves its warning rung. Which means there is a one godfather, there is a one good character, a godfather from Aberothak place. He decided that, like, if this, if I will place a bell in the Inchcape on the Inchcape Rock, there is a chances I can save a life of many person. So he had placed a Inchcape bell on the Inchcape Rock. And because of that, whenever the waves will float, so the bell will ring. And when the bell will ring, whichever ships are going from there, they will get indication and they will save their life. When the rock was hit by a surge swell, the mariners heard the warning bell, and then they knew the perilous rock and blessed the abbot of Aberothak. So here they are explaining in the stanza, whenever a ship is moving from there and they are getting indication bell which was placed by abbot of Aberothak, and whenever they save themselves from a dangerous rock, perilous rock means dangerous rock, they blessed, they give blessing, they give thank you to the abbot of Aberothak. The sun in heaven was shining. Gay means the sun is also very happy. All things were joyful on that day, and the seabirds screamed as they wheeled around, and there was a joyance in their sound, which means this stanza talks about one day the sun was brightening shiningly, and everything was a joyful, happy moment. And the seabirds are also screamed with everyone, which means it is a happy environment. And when you read this, the birds are singing in their voice, there is a joyance. The buoy of the Inchcape bell was seen. The buoy of the Inchcape bell was seen, a darker speck on the ocean green. The buoy of the Inchcape bell. The buoy of the Inchcape bell was seen. So here that bell you can see from far away, which was placed by a about of a baroda, and it is like a one point. Speck means a one point, dark color black point on the ocean. On the ocean we can see clearly, it is visible. Sir Rabdrover walked his deck, and he fixed his eye on the darker speck. So now the entrance of the negative character comes, which means a pirate, and his name is Radharover. He had seen this Inchcape bell. His eyes fell on this Inchcape bell. So just see like what he thought when he looked, when his eyes was fixed on this Inchcape bell. He felt the cheering power of spring. He felt very happy, he was excited. It made him whistled, it made him sing. So when he looked at the Jinke bell, he was excited. It made him whistle like he was making a city, and he was started singing. His heart was mirthful to excess, but the rover's mirth was wickedness, which means he was so much happy, but that happiness was not a good happy, it was a bad happy. Whenever you are about to do a wrong thing about other person, that happiness you got before that you are going to do a wrong thing about other person, so that is a wickedness. His eyes was on the Inchcape float. His eye was on the Inchcape float, and he said, "My men put out the boat and drove me to the Inchcape Rock, and I'll plague the abbot of Aberothak." So here, this man had said that this man had said that uh, said to his people on his boat, like, please remove the boat, I want to reach over that Inchcape Rock. And then after that, his people had removed the boat from the ship, and the boatmen had taken him to the Inchcape Rock. So Rab the rover, when he reached, he bent himself towards the bell, and he cut the bell from the Inchcape float, and down sung the bell with a gurgling sound. The bubble rose and burst around, and then he said, "The next who comes to the rock won't bless the abode of Baroda." So this man said, "What if any person will come?" Because he cut the bell, and after cutting the bell, he said, "If anyone will come, no one will going to bless this man abode." Sir Ralph the rover sailed away, and he scoured the seas for many days, and now grown rich with a plundered store, he steered his course for Scotland's shore, which means he earned lots of money. He had hijacked many ships, and he decided to go to his own town, which is Scotland. So thick a haze overspread the sky, so there is a blur out there, a fog is there over the sky. They cannot see the sun on high. The wind had blown a gale all day. The wind was not moving all the day. At evening the had died away. On the deck the rover takes his stand. So dark it is there is no ceiling. So in the evening time it is totally dark, they cannot able to see anything. Then pirate said, "What? It will be lighter soon, for there is a dawn, the rising moon." So he said to his man that we can see the moon is coming, so the light will come. On the deck, the rover can't hear, said one, and one person said that we cannot hear the sound also. For me, thinks we should near the shore. Now where we are, I cannot tell, but I wish I could hear the HK bell. So the pirate and his people started talking with each other. The people are saying like we cannot hear, but the sound is coming. So he said, "Yes, let me think. Like it could be the sound of HK bell." They hear no sound. The swell is strong. Though the wind had fallen, they drift along till the vessel strikes with a shivering shock. "Oh," cries, "it's Inchcape Rock." Sir Ralph the Rover tore his hair. He cursed himself in his despair. The waves rush in every side, the ship is sinking beneath the tide. But even in his dying fear, one dreadful sound could the rover hear, a sound as if the Inchcape bell, the devil below, was ringing the knell. So here in short, I'm explaining that uh, like in the evening time it was totally dark, they cannot see, but suddenly the waves started coming and the ship was started drawing inside the water. When the ship was drawing inside the water, the Ralph the rover has started cursing himself, and when he died the devil was ringing a sound. Then he was again listening a sound, ringing bell, and that bell was rung by a devil.